We go. I do believe we are live, so I'll say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. I'll say, today is another conscious evolution, another opportunity for us to grow, another opportunity for us to become, another opportunity for us to consider our momentum. Our momentum. You know, we human beings have the ability to create momentum. Momentum is something we usually experience when it comes to the physical world, to things moving and them not being stoppable. But today, I want to think about momentum from the perspective of choices. Momentum in the perspective of action, momentum in the perspective of awareness, momentum in the perspective of where we are in our history as human beings, momentum in the perspective of what the internet is. All right, recognizing all of these things as different types of momentum in our life, and acknowledging that these momentums influence us. All right, depending on which direction we're going to find ourselves there. All right, and I am willing to acknowledge that humanity itself has a certain momentum to it as well. And I'm willing to acknowledge that your momentum will be influenced by the momentum of the whole. But if that's the case, then momentum is something that's very important. All right, momentum is something we're going to have to learn how to use. Today I woke up knowing it's Monday, knowing that I set out with the intention to do work, so I did. I woke up and I literally, without missing a beat, without making a coffee, without consulting myself and asking whether or not I want to, I turned on my computer and I sat down to start working. And I did. I got so much done today. So much, right? I feel good about the fact that I didn't, make excuses as to why I wasn't supposed to do anything. Oh, I have a lot of time. I still don't have stage design, right? I literally do not even know what the festival is going to look like that I'm making media for. And I keep asking, and I keep getting let know later. I'll ask literally last week. Last week I asked, yeah, we'll have it by Monday. It's Monday. I go, you got my shit? Oh, sorry about that. We were there today to go and look. We'll have it to you by tomorrow. We'll see. Right? And I'm sharing this part of the fractal from the perspective of how other people's lack of momentum or other people's momentum and other things might influence your momentum. Right? If I stop myself from doing what I'm supposed to doing, if I stop myself from chopping wood, if you will, then the wood wouldn't get chopped. Right? I would have done literally nothing today. I would have done nothing for the last 2 weeks because I've been asking. I've been asking for 2 weeks and I've been waiting. Right? So, I feel like there's something to be said about that as well. That if you wait for the momentum to be given, you might end up waiting longer than you planned to. And momentum is one of those things that don't stop. That only starts moving when you do, right? I'm seeing it from the perspective of I have so much momentum right now. Like, for instance, if I'm gonna break it down to days, right? I'm making visuals for 3 days, a total of 48 different videos. And I have finished 15, right? I went from storyboard to concept sketch to final sketch to video for 15 of the total 40, 43 or 48 that I have to do. I'm trying to do the math now. 40 something, right? So I'm almost halfway. I'm almost halfway done. There's still a lot of work that I have to do. I'm willing to acknowledge that, right? That just because I gained all of this momentum doesn't mean I have the room to stop. Let's say it from that perspective, right? I still want this momentum to be applied correctly. But there are other entities. There are other entities here that might influence your momentum. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, other entities influencing your momentum. How about that? Freaking entity. Okay. I have a little bit. I literally have like one small little baby nug left of this. This is almost the last of it. Of the gorilla Skittles. I haven't smoked at all today because I've been working. I've been pushing the momentum in the right direction this whole time. So I am kind of excited to calm down. It's 4 p.m. Am I allowed? Do I want to do more work is the question that my mind is being like. I'm not going to do more. Yeah, I am. Absolutely going to do more work. But I'm not going to do the same work I'm doing right now. I'm going to do more work but differently. Right. Totally. Yes, of course. I'm looking forward to it. I've been enjoying the work. I've been enjoying building momentum in that way. I have a hard time, Maybe this is the opportunity where I try and relate to you a little bit more. I have a hard time building momentum when I feel I don't like the direction. You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna go in a direction, I don't want to be driving my feet into the ground as I'm being dragged in that direction. All right, I want it to feel natural. I want it to feel like a flow. I want it to feel like an energy exchange that I can get behind, that I know is going in the right direction. These creatures ain't got no mercy. And got no chill. And got no care for my momentum. No, they have max momentum. We're doing bite face right now, Mel. This is what this spot is for bite face. Yeah, there's only one game to be played. Okay. Now that I've shared with you friends a little bit of the perspective that I wanted to, we allow ourselves this perspective of the power of momentum, of getting up and doing something. Like I was starting to share that whole fractal before I got distracted from the perspective of because I just did it, all right? Because I just sat down and just kept sitting down and kept doing the work, I made more progress than I could have hoped for, right? The momentum kept leading me deeper and deeper into actually the completion of my task. And I think I like that. I think I like knowing what it is I want to do and then doing it. Getting things done. Building momentum in the right direction. Am I gonna have to freaking move these creatures again? Apparently sneezing is how they say they're just playing. I feel myself slightly anxious to vape this vaporizer key. I wonder why. I haven't set an intention. What is my intention? For one, I can say hi to Kelly. Right there with you, my friend. What's in motion stays in motion. And I stopped over the weekend. Today I am Pippi, and my to-do list is the puppy. Love to you, Kelly. I like that. I feel you being there with me. I also stopped over the weekend, for what it's worth. Maybe we can share that part. I also stopped over the weekend. I worked the whole of last week, and then I worked Friday, Friday, I basically finished my rudimentary, my basis, right? I was like, okay, now I have something to look at. Friday, I finished that. And I did feel compelled, I won't lie, to work more this weekend. And I told myself, no. I told myself, it's Saturday, Melt. Pretend like it's Saturday. Behave like it's Saturday. And I did. I gave myself that moment of rest. And as you said, I stopped over the weekend. Now that we are back in the week again, we can reapply that same momentum. The momentum isn't lost. I think when it comes to the progress we make in our work and the progress we make in our own personal pursuit and our own gaining of skills, it's not something that we lose. I think you can forget where the momentum was, but I don't think you ever lose the momentum that already is. For instance, very long ago, I started learning how to use Blender. Very, very long ago, like literally when I started doing these streams originally. And I did kind of let that software sleep, right? I didn't touch it much over the last 2 years, almost at all. I have been waiting for the software to get better, especially so when it comes to the user experience. I think, and I know, that eventually that software will have plugins where you can basically have a conversation with the 3D objects that you're building. All right. And I'm looking forward to being able to do that. I'll be able to do even more when that is the case. However, right now, you are still supposed to do everything yourself. And despite not having touched this piece of software, right, not having practiced into the momentum that was right there originally, as soon as I got back into the piece of software, I was like, okay, I can do this, I can do that, I can make something that I have in my head. I can put it on a screen, I can put it in a computer world, right? And I was kind of shocked, to be completely honest, that remembrance remained, that momentum didn't go away. I forgot how to do most of the things, right? And as soon as I was back again, it seemed like slowly but surely things started coming back to me. I'm thinking about all of the things that I've lost momentum in right now. So many. I'm going to maintain this momentum in my heart, give to you friends lovingly as I add some heat to this dynamo. My intention is to appreciate. My intention is to acknowledge that I have a lot of momentum in so many different ways, right? That you can have momentum in every single direction of your wholeness. And if you can utilize, and if you can direct that momentum in a direction that is going to be good for your life, then you won't only find yourself somewhere else, but by your momentum, you will take people with you. Right? Thinking about it from the perspective of momentum so powerful it creates a gravitational well. And all those around you cannot help but be pulled by that gravitational well as well. Right? And I think that's a good thing. I think the fact that other people's momentum can bring momentum into your heart is one of our superpowers as a species. That we can learn so iteratively and rapidly from other people. That we can grow. That we can give ourselves new momentums. For instance, one of the things that I spent some time putting momentum into today is learning how to use Resolume. So I've done a few festivals before, but every single time I did, I used a piece of software called Heavy M. And Heavy M, in so many words, is very much a mapping software, right? It's made for mapping first and foremost. And mapping is when you have a projector, and then you have a surface area, like a stage. And then you shine that projector light onto the stage's shapes, mapping it, right? And if you do that, you can do cool things. You can make pretty, to say it in so many words. And I've done that a few times and in that way. And then there is again momentum that is built in your own experience in learning how to use those things, the things that you use, all right? And you know what those are in the using of them. Now I know that for this festival coming up, I, one, will not be using my own computer, and two, will not be using my own software. I'll be using a new piece of software called Resolume. Unfortunately, Resolume lets you download a free piece of the software and then lets you demo it, but puts like watermarks and sounds over your footage, kind of like encouraging you to actually buy it. So I've been practicing. Instead of doing things the way I've done it before, I am now teaching myself, gaining new momentum into how to do it in a completely different way. So previously, for instance, for the conclave festivals that I've done before, the work I'm doing right now again, I basically created a standalone piece, to say it in such words, right? I made a little slide for each DJ with their name and then the festival branding, and then that would loop right behind them. It would be that over and over again, and it was not a very long loop, maybe 20 seconds or so, and then the loop starts all over again, right? And it goes from second 1 to second 20, second 1 to second 20, right? For the entire hour, or I just got bit by this fucking assholes. It would be that for the entire set. And that made me happy because it was uniform, it was good, it looked good. The audience was pleased, was in appreciation of the actual visuals. But, and maybe I should add as well, it also made my life easier because I could just put the visuals on and then the visuals were. But now that I know I'm going to be using a different piece of software, I want to do more. And I don't know why I'm like that, to be completely honest, right? Because I know I can do less. I can do more now and then do less later. And the more now that I'll have to do is building entire timelines, right? Sequencing the video onto itself, like reversing it onto itself, and then making sure it loops perfectly. And then dragging in branding elements and then rendering that out to get standalone videos, right? So I'll have to do all of that work. And I might not have to do all of that work. I'll just have to prepare all of my text elements and then basically drag it into my layered timeline on the Resolume piece of software. And then instead of having one video for one DJ looping for the entire hour to hour and a half, I'll have all of the videos that I make for a day randomly playing, switching on the beat. And then I'll have text elements, the DJ names, etc., as a layer that I can just click through, or ideally put on a timeline to have it done automatically. I'm probably gonna have to do that part myself. Woe is me. And then I'm apparently doing 3D mapping as well. That part I'm still a little bit skizzy about because I don't know how to do 3D mapping on Resolume yet. No, we'll figure it out. Okay, I'm missing a few comments. We have Ayas. I don't know how to say your name. Eyes. No, eyes doesn't work. Ayas. Ayas, yeah. Ayas is fine. Hey Brad, bless ya. Melt Brad. Hope you and everyone is joining the live. Has a great day today. Thank you, Ayas. Bless you too. I had trouble making 3D objects to print with Blender. It is hard, Mr. Murkabastic. It is actually hard. And I feel it's not only hard because you're doing something that is hard to do, but it's also hard because of the way the software is, right? Like it's not the same, like these dogs. they're pushing their legs against me and like kicking me while they're playing bite face. Uh, Blender, making an object, something that's hard, the intuitiveness of the software. Yeah, the way you manipulate reality, right? If you were building something on like a platform, right? In your mind, you would be able to move that platform and you'll be able to pick it up potentially and look at it from this and this angle, right? So you have like an intuitiveness to how you want to interact with a 3D plane of existence. But because you are limited to a mouse and keyboard, your interaction with the 3D environment is just in and of itself different, right? So that's one of the things that I was thinking about as well, Mr. Merkaba, is that would it be easier for me to do 3D work if I have a pair of VR goggles, right? So then I can literally put myself inside of the scene and potentially with my little remote controls be able to manipulate this object the way I would with my hands. And ideally also being able to sculpt, being able to put things where I want them or take things away where I want them taken away in the actual plane in which I want them taken away, right? I'm not, because that's the thing, a 3D object in this plane of existence, I might go, oh, I want to smooth out this part on Melt's face, right? But by the time you move my side profile, you like took up an entire gap out of the side of my head as well. I hope this is making sense. Totally makes sense, okay? Build momentum is the point. Get good, start learning, and then by the time our technology catches up to us, you would already have built that momentum to continue forward. Is that a Jobot? I see. Sending you lovin's too. A designer from humble beginnings at Shambhala just had his stunning visuals on the Sphere in Vegas. That's those literally. I have this ambition, this goal to actually have a show in the Sphere of Vegas. So the fact that you're saying that exactly, if you don't know Eon, check him out. That is someone who has written momentum to magic. I don't know this artist. Eon, Uiuon. Very psychedelic. I like it. I'm guessing this is the one you're talking about. Eon visuals on the dome. One day my art will be there. One day, watch. Manifesting harder. Manifest. That's not how it works, Mel. That's exactly how it works. That's exactly how manifestationings work. I'm gonna keep making the art, and then eventually I'm gonna put it on the dome. Eventually. It's so cool. I think there's a video of artist Yuan. Yeah, there we go. It's very cool. Pretty psychedelic. Psychedelic animations. Eon made it to the big times. Yeah, people are so stoked for him as well. Going from a screen at Shambhala to the Sphere is wild. That's how it works. That is how it works. You cannot just start with the Sphere. I mean, somebody probably is gonna, probably gonna be one person who's lucky enough to start with the Sphere, but most people don't. Right? Most people have to start with a cell phone screen and a camera, right? Like that. That's most people's fractal right now. Just pronounce my username the same way you'd say eyes. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, but I was like, but it's not spelled like eyes, so I cannot do that. Eyes is perfect. My objects didn't establish inside and outside well enough to print. Yeah, that's also another thing. That's also another thing, right? You might have created an object in 3D, and to the way that your brain understands three-dimensionality, if it is there, then it should be. And then you 3D print it and it's not. And you're like, I am confused. Joe Bob, Beep Bob, thank you for the sweater. Did Joe Bob send you a sweater? That's so sweet. I'm not surprised. Love is true. That is how it works. You got what it takes. Plus, you have connections all over the world cheering you on. You friends will be in the same way, those that got to see me in my humble beginnings. Right? That is the cool thing about being a new creator as well. That's the cool thing about staying a new creator. I'm still just as new of a creator as I was 4 years ago. But that's the fun part, right? I get to continue gaining momentum. And then by the time that most know of the momentum that I'm gaining, I'll be going too fast to catch. I'll be going so fast. Think of that what you may. I already feel like I'm melting. Maybe if I go fast enough, the version of me that isn't me can't stay. It'll have to be completely melted. You have so many things on your back, Peppy. Clickety clackety. Ain't no rest for the wicked, these doggos say. Just maximum shenanigans, always. Pippi wasn't having it this morning. I wake up and I usually open the door for the dogs as soon as I do. And I do, and Pippi stays in the room. And then the baby dog comes in as well. And Pippi is like so over it. He's like, no, I don't want any of this. Come on, leave me alone. What that little pipe thingy you're smoking? Pardon my ignorance. You do not have to be pardoned at all eyes. I like telling people about this. You see how I'm like blowing on it right now? Trying to make it cold because this thing is going to click. As soon as it is cold again. Cold enough for me to touch. See that? Now I can touch it. And then there's still a little bit of green left in there, but we'll give the rest back to the earth. So that's what the inside of the chamber looks like. I don't know if I'll be able to. I have little holes in the sides as well. The titanium has little holes in the sides. And then you put some dry bud in that little bowl. It takes about 1/10 of a gram. And then you put this little cap right over the top. And then you basically just have to add heat to this system. You can do so with an induction heater. This thing has a magnet in it, an electromagnet that turns on and off like 5 to 10,000 times a second. All right, so there's magnetic field, no magnetic field, magnetic field, no magnetic field. And then when you put a piece of metal in that oscillating magnetic field, it basically moves those little molecules, causing them to heat up. You can also cause them to heat up by blasting them with a propane torch. Start moving faster. And then it has a little metal tab at the top that clicks, and I believe, I think 200 Fahrenheit. I might be mistaken. When it is at the correct temperature, when it is at the appropriate non-combustion but vapor creation temperature. And then you basically pull air over, like basically through this little thin film, right, between the cap and the actual head. You pull air through, and then that air gets superheated, or at least heated to the temperature of the system. And then as it flows over that little bud, it strips from that bud all of the THC, all of the terpenes, all of the flavors, essentially, but it doesn't combust the actual material. I wish I showed you what the material looked like. I do not know if I want another one right now. We'll have to maybe wait for, like 40 minutes or 30 minutes or so. Now you know! Now you are free from ignorance about a Dynavap. That is what it's called. It's called a Dynavap. And that's what it do. That's what the Dynavap do. Take a good snow skate slam yesterday. Video coming tonight. Snow skate slam. Nice. Mr. Merkabastic, I don't know if I've seen your channel before. I might have. I wish it was kind of like Reddit, where I can just click on your name and go to your channel. Maybe at some point. Mr. Merkabastic. Nay, 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 nay. None of these are Mr. Merkabastic. Mr. Matrix, nay. Mr. McMcCarbabastic. Yeah, I found you. I think. Yeah, I did. I think your username does make it a little bit more challenging. But now I get to see the person. 3 days ago, he did a meditation stream, it seems. It's nice seeing you, bro. You look like you have so much light in you. I'm looking at this. I don't know. I want to show a photo. Luke McMurray. Yeah. Luke McMurray. At Luke McMurray. You can find him as well. I'm seeing. I want to show. I mean, he is technically. This is like a public. This is a public thumbnail. So I'm not showing anything that's not public. So it is legal. Yes. Here's the legal bug. Right? Like this pose. Look at that smile. Look at those smiling eyes. We're gonna get a snow skate. Oh, he's actually skating. Is that? I don't know if it's like a big skate or if it's just. If I'm just. I don't know what their sizes are. But I'm getting lost in your whole fractal right now, bro. Like I have subscribed as well. Boom. Get subscribed to. Love you, bro. These crazies. Pipe thingy. Good. Luke McMurray, search that. Bless. Took a good snowskate slam. Oh, very interesting little mechanism. I didn't get the name. Could you repeat it again? Slower, please. It's called a Dynavap. 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 Yes, sir. I can show you like that piece of text. That technically says Dynavap. And this piece of text. That also technically says Dynavap, but yeah, the spelling probably gonna be the best bet. Love you guys. Thanks. We love you, bro. Holding you close. Supporting your fractals the way you have supported ours, man. Oh, handsome. Bless. So much love. This is a very wholesome moment. Beautiful smile, Luke. Will subscribe. Love is true. You have a very gentle smile. So much love. Thanks for the spelling. You're so welcome. We've been having this running joke, eyes, that I'm going to keep telling people about Dynavaps until I'm sponsored by them. All right. And technically, since we've brought the Dynavap into this space, I think we've convinced a total of 7 people. So let's go down the list like this. Jovan technically has bought 3. 1 for herself and 2 for friends, right? So 3 people have gotten Dynavaps by that extent alone. Then Kristen, I believe, got a Dynavap for herself. And Joy Vive got a Dynavap for herself as well. Then Max and John also got Dynavaps, 2 are friends of mine. And Duck Dad also got a Dynavap. Melita also got a Dynavap for herself. She got the induction one too. I might be missing someone. If you are amongst them, let me know. Ah, yes! Fit Demon! I turned up the first time in ages and it's Dynavap talk. Fit Demon has a Dynavap, but I'm pretty sure Fit Demon had a Dynavap before I had one. Right? Right, Fit? So, yeah, we had eyes ask, what is that? And now we've let them know. And the fact that you also have one feels extra appropriate. For me, the reason I decided to get myself one, because let me give you some context. I, against my own better judgment, because I think it's easier to not be, am obsessed about health and longevity. Absolutely manically obsessed. And in that, I try and take as good a care of myself as I reasonably can. And I couldn't stand by while I kept smoking things, right? I'd never been at least a cigarette smoker, but I was smoking joints, all right? At that point, at least one a day, almost every day, pretty much. And then I did take breaks, right? Because of the lung load. I literally had to take a break because my lungs, I would get these pains in my chest. And that would almost be like this call to awareness, like, bro, if you don't stop, you're going to get a lung cancer or something. So I would stop for a whole month at a time, sober October. And I did my October sober. And I felt this drive, this sense of, self-righteous willingness to reward myself. And I knew that I still loved marijuana because the version of me that I become when I don't smoke is like even more critical, right? Even more aggressive, even more focused on being critical and aggressive. And I'm like basically flinging nonsense at the version of me that's completely sober because that version of me thinks he's better than I am. So I have to fling some nonsense a little bit, just like a little bit, right? But this version of me doesn't allow himself like a moment to breathe. So I knew I was gonna eventually, smoke some weed again, just to like calm myself down and, take a breath. But I again felt the sense of, bro, that's not good for your health. You can't do that. It's bad for your health. So I wanted to buy myself a dry herb vaporizer. And you can get a pretty wide range of electronic dry herb vaporizers these days. They come in many shapes and sizes. But me being obsessed again with the best, right? And having tried, hey, stop that. He keeps eating grass. Like not eating the grass like from the top. He goes for the roots and then pulls on them because they give him resistance or something. Hey, stop that. So I was like, okay, what is the good one cost? You can go like extra with like the volcanoes and stuff, and they can be like $500, $600, and I was like, that's a bit much. And then I came down to something that's like $300, and I was like, this is an investment. I'll get this $300 thing, and then I won't have to, you know, buy rolling papers or whatever ever again. And then the Dynavap, basically showed up first when I was looking for the more expensive thing, right? And I think this was when I got it, $75. No, a little bit more, $80. So in my mind, it was cheaper. Like I could get 3 or 4 of those for the price of one of the other. All right. So I felt that was me almost like giving myself the thing that's going to be good for me, plus not having to spend excessive amounts of money. And there's this added bonus of when you use something with a dry hair vaporizer, it becomes significantly more efficient because you're not combusting the materials. You're not losing any of the value, any of the medicine. Right? So, and I got it. And there was, at first, a buyer's remorse. I thought it was fake. That was the first thing that I was actually taken by. I thought it was fake. I thought I got a fake because of how small it was. I was like, what? Right? Because from my frame of reference, I know the size of a pipe, right? Or I know the size of a bong, or I know the size of a chillum. And then I got this thing and it was like the size of a joint, essentially, right? The size of a little bit thicker pencil, but short. And I was like, what? I paid $80 for this little thing, right? And I was like, this, I don't know if I like that. You shouldn't have done that, the voices in my head say. And then I tried it. And the best part is I got it something like 3 days before Sober October was over. But I didn't touch it. I just like left it in its packaging. I also didn't have any weed, so that helped. And then I drove through Pretoria, and there was a place that had buds. And it was more expensive than I've ever paid for bud in my life. It was indoor. Because again, I thought that I had to try bud, good bud with this thing, right? I hyped up in my mind. And I got the soap and Francis's lemon cheesecake or something like that. And that completely changed my life. At least as it relates to how I experience weed, right? Because up until that point, weed was only ever a means to an end. I go through this uncomfortable experience of smoking something, and then I get to experience the experience that comes with that. And it was almost like I would just want to get it over with. I just want to, and like I would afterwards, a part of the experience, this bad side, was the fact that I, had this like taste in my mouth, right? That I couldn't shake. I couldn't drink it away. It's still some of the best bud I've ever smoked. It was so good. It was like literally inhaling lemon cheesecake. I was taken aback. It was so lemony. I think like the really emphasis on the lemony cheesecake flavors. I was shocked. I was actually shocked. And it changed for me the way I see the flower, right? It made me fall in love with marijuana in a different way, right? Before it was just the calm she brought into my life. And then it became the song, the notes, the music, right, that exists. Yay! You're making such noise right next to me. Yeah, spill, spill. But spill somewhere else. Spill means play. They're playing. Love you guys. Love to you. Mm, I did. I started watching one day because you were using your Dynavap. There we go. You see? So there's double whammy idness from this. My love of Dynavaps can attract other Dynavappers. Boom. Suddenly I just gained a whole new audience. Fantastic. I'm literally pushing the hacks buttons. They really should sponsor you. Get a coupon code. They aren't well known here yet, and I'm pushing them on people without having one myself yet. Because of you, I used to love the Volcano, the big vape. Yeah, like Volcano is like one of those things that I would want to buy for my home when I have expendable income, right? Like that's my idea of expendable income spending, right? Oh yes, I'm just gonna buy this tower that produces cannabis vapor into a balloon. Yes. It's so extra. It's so absurd, but it's awesome. Reach out to them for a sponsorship. Doesn't hurt to try. Maybe I'll like edit parts of this, stream together and do that. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. I haven't inhaled tobacco or anything burned in over 3 years. Bless your lungs. And I'm guaranteeing you feel better for it. Filling my Dynavap now. Bless ya. What are you filling it with? That's what a night and day difference it has made for me. Yeah, when people now offer me joints, I feel like I feel like I don't want to share this information because it might lose friends. People might stop offering me joints, which is not what I want. All right. But if somebody is smoking a joint and they offer me a puff, more often than not, I just pretend that I'm smoking it. I'll go, but nothing will go into my lungs. And then I'll pass it back. I don't try and like burn more material. I'll just like make like a little puff of smoke. People rarely like watch you like a hawk to make sure you're smoking at least. The doggo shenanigans. Those volcanoes look like a lot of fun, but the giant bag seems like a lot of vapor for a casual session. Yeah, like I feel like that's kind of the point. You do not do it for a casual session. If you want to have a casual session, you do your 9 up, right? If you want to become one with the couch, you bring out the volcano. I think that's kind of the use case. It's like, oh yes, my day is over. How can I make it over? How can I make it over plus? And then out comes no, out comes volcano. My mind, I am being brain manipulated. Is that Flare Star Child? Greetings to you. It's nice having you here with us, friend. How you doing? It can make the bag whatever size you want, pass around like a dupe. You don't have to knock yourself out. Yes. Yes, you don't have to. Totally. It's coffee table piece for sure. Exactly. MeltMore into the couch. Exactly. Exactly like that. Pin to the point. If that is what you wanted. I find myself wanting that only at the end of my day, again, right? Like that's rarely something I look for at 11 a.m., for instance. Never, in fact. Never, in fact, do I go, yes, let's smoke so much weed that the most we can hope to do is just breathe. It's 11 a.m., let's go. Right? Rarely does that feeling come up in me. So that at least in me gives me some sense of confidence that I don't have a problem with weed at least. shenanigan creatures. You play it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get the rope. Yeah, 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 yeah. The bee is actively waiting for Kobe to grow up. He's not strong enough. Is he not strong enough? Yeah, 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 yeah. Loved ones, Ciao Pao. It's so nice to have you here with us. Thank you for joining us, bro. I am currently contemplating releasing anger. You helped me a lot. Thank you, brother. Yo, Flare Star Child, you know, like I don't know what's angering you right now, but I can relate to that being right at the edge of releasing anger, right? Because these two are being cute, relatively speaking. They're being cute, but they're also making so much noise, right? And I am very sensitive to my environment and the noises they're in, and they have been skizzing my brain, right? So I can feel this energy arise in me to go, ah, ah. But then I don't, because it is kind of okay, or at least I will be. I'll be okay, despite this anger arising. If you want to share with us what's making you angry, we're here, gifting us memberships too. Honest Mickey got gifted the membership. Thank you, dear friend, for blessing our community. Love is true, right? That's the last lesson I can give as well. It's like breathe and keep reciting. Love is true. Ah, do I want to lose my shit? No, because love is true. Love is true. I should say learning to let it go. Yeah, I've been trying as well. And I feel it is one of those things where we actively are going to keep having to learn. I don't think that like the ultimate letting go is like understanding dying, right? Or complete ego death. And that letting go is pretty hard to get to, right? Everything in your ego doesn't want that. So you have to, as an ego, learn from your environment, melt into that environment, and realize that you are one with it, to stop being the thing you think you are, to let go. Love is true and truth. Holding you in this fractal, dear friend. You got this. One breath at a time, reciting our mantras. Just out of curiosity, since I've been sober my entire life, do you think addiction is an issue on this matter, or is that not a worry? I think it can be, right? So the way I see cannabis is that it is an associative drug, right? And it is a drug, right? I also, in that same breath, consider alcohol and nicotine and caffeine drugs as well. Nicotine can also be an associative drug, right? You associate a feeling with it, and then you seek that. So I believe weed is an associative drug. But instead of it just being a thing that it makes you feel necessarily, it also associates with what you do. So if you smoke weed only as something you do when you're, for instance, doing nothing, right? Maybe you're playing a game, or maybe you're watching an anime, and you're doing that for 8 hours a day, every day. And then while you're doing that, you're smoking a bunch of weed to enjoy doing that, right? To be there for doing that. Then I believe it has become an association and an addiction that doesn't serve you anymore. So, in that same frame, if we're going to look at it from that perspective of association, I started smoking weed to sleep, first and foremost, right? I was on antidepressants. They weren't working. They were giving me panic attacks, and I was having like night terrors. It was not a vibe. And the doctor was like, "Bro, try weed." Literally, my doctor. He was a home doctor, but he literally told me, "Try weed." And I did. My dad didn't find it for me. I had to find it for myself. My dad was next to me when he told me this information, and he was taken aback. And then I did try weed, and I slept in a way that I wasn't capable of sleeping up until that point in my life. Hey! Shh, 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 shh. And there was this experience of having my entire world shifted by something as simple as a plant, right? I was not ready for that big of a shift in my experience, right? Because again, you get told things by society about what this experience is and what it's going to do to you. And what it did to me is it made all of that self-critical, just made it like, ooh. Right? And again, that can be helpful. If you're doing absolutely nothing, then that can be the encouragement to do something. All right? And in that way, it can be better or worse for your experience if you use weed in a way that softens critical thoughts when they're useful. So when I started smoking weed, it was first a sleep thing, and I didn't stop at that. Right? So to give more credence to the fractal of potential addiction, I started smoking weed before I wanted to sleep. But because I realized the power that there is in chemistry and the fact that by changing my internal chemistry with something as simple as weed, what other ways can I change my chemistry to improve my state of being? And I did research as much as I could. I tried to find the information about how I could do that. And the first bit of information that arose is exercise. Was that the number one way you can like change this chemical system that is you into momentum that is feeling good is exercise. So I, like a drug addict would, doubled up, and I would smoke weed and then exercise. And so in that way, for me, at the start of my life, weed became associated with being able to sleep properly and being able to exercise for longer periods of time and enjoy that experience during that period of time, right? So it became a very useful tool in my experience that I would apply when I needed to, right? If I wanted to calm self-critical thought, I would smoke weed. Or when I wanted to exercise, I would smoke weed. And I feel in that way it helped me to do things that I might not have been able to do otherwise, or at least not would have enjoyed to do otherwise. So I think at this point in my life, my associations have transformed again, right? Because these days I rarely smoke before I exercise, because now when I exercise, at least my daily practice, I'm also being a teacher. So I'm giving a class to students, which means that me having concise thought and clarity in my words and articulation is more important to me than me enjoying my practice. So I don't, right? And in that way as well, I exercise significantly less at this point in my life than I did at that point in my life. And weed for me, especially in this context, is something that I do because it also helps me, I want to almost say like thin boundaries. It makes me melt some parts of myself. Again, that self-critical, the version of you that gets in your own way, right? By overthinking, questioning yourself, and it silences that part of me just a little bit. And especially in this kind of context, in this kind of space, being open and flowing with the conversation as you friends bring it to me and I try and bring it to you is something positive that I associate with it. Right. So it is, yeah. I don't know if that answers your question. I think it's more complicated. Addiction, are you addicted to water? Are you addicted to coffee? Are you addicted to cigarettes? Right. And you see how we step it up and the significance of the question changes. All right. And then again, what's the association and how does it serve you? I feel like again for like cigarettes, it can be the association of a break from your work and the feeling of relief of having the cigarette, right? And then that association becomes driving, but it doesn't help you past that. Might give you more breaks from work, but if getting work done is your objective, if getting work done is your priority, then it doesn't help. Let me see what I missed. Depends on my day. If I'm working and pulling puppies out of a dumpster, not high. If I'm off painting and crafting, a little MJ is good company. Exactly. Same if you hike and mountaintop, MJ plus magic moments. Exactly. It is an association thing, right? I wouldn't want to smoke a bunch of weed right before a job interview, for example, because now suddenly that laid backedness, that comfort and being open and myself wouldn't serve me because now I have to be a little bit more critical of the exact words that I say because they're paying attention to me. And again, like with the weed being associative, weed is so powerful, and you are too, especially together, that you can suddenly be even more affected by it in a moment of tension. All right, like you might be completely fine, relatively speaking, in one moment. Right, maybe this moment requires of you that you sit down and look at mountains. Right, as Kelly said, like you're on a mountaintop, and in that way, weed is okay. And then suddenly, there's people running at you, telling you that someone broke their leg. All right. Now suddenly you are taken aback by this experience that was just moments ago, just like filled with calm and bliss. Now you're like, oh no, am I gonna be okay enough to be like capable of helping this person? All right. Yeah, the associations. As an aside, I just wanted to mark the passing of David Lynch world and anyone who is searching for meaning in life. I've been rewarding all. I think I'm missing some context. Hey Google, who's David Lynch? An American filmmaker. David Lynch was an American filmmaker, visual artist, musician, and actor. May he rest in peace. May we utilize and learn from his experience to make the world a better place. Love is true. Thank you for giving some honor to him as well, the demon. I would say learning to let go, rewatching all his movies this week, bless. It's so unhealthy. Your love is true mantra reminds me of Lynch's focus on the donut, not on the hole. Yeah, exactly. I love that David Lynch also had a mantra. Good. Good David Lynch, yes. Mine is love is true. Focus on the donut, not the hole. That's awesome. I'm upset at my mother for being so stubborn and doomer about things. Very relatable and understandable friend. I get upset because she is me and I am her, because we are us and all and the all. It's hard to forgive you on that. All right, because again, when someone is doomer about things and they share that sentiment with you, you feel the sense of like, oh, I want to help you, I want to make this better, but you're like already convinced that it's not going to get better or that it's bad, right? So how am I supposed to? And then you get angry because you don't want to get sad. Listening to them, giving them different perspectives, right? Almost like acknowledging their worries, being like, yeah, that could happen. It could. We can get nuclear war right now, just like massive nuclear war, everybody getting bombed. Or we could take it day by day. You know, mom, we can breathe for a second right now. Let's just take like 2 big breaths. And like one more. And we can acknowledge that in the time it took us to take those breaths, the world hasn't ended yet. And that if we continue to breathe, maybe we'll see more yet. All right. More still should be seen. Love is true. I'm sorry you're going through this experience. And I thank you, Flair, for caring about your mom and wanting the best for her too. Rather than releasing anger, consider the idea of allowing love to wash over the heart. Instead of focusing on the problem, pay more attention to the remedy. The cleansing happens naturally. Those are wise words. How did your super Christian dad react to a doctor recommending weed? Fortunately, my dad and me have an interesting relationship with the Bible and God. Right? So my dad is like super Christian, as we've established. So God is like up there, ultimate good. So my reasoning was, if God is up there, ultimate good, and God made wheat plant, then wheat plant not bad. And he tried to counter me with, yeah, but God made cyanide as well. And I go, yes, but cyanide kills you when you consume it. Wheat doesn't. And it just kind of like went down this layer of reasoning until he eventually buckled. And now he smokes weed as well. Now he smokes weed as well. Because guess what? It's medicine. Especially for people like us. Me and my dad are the same when it comes to our minds. Actively. I think Papa Chris was probably more okay with that rather than pharmaceuticals. Just guessing exactly. Exactly. So like that was also a part of the fractal of like there are like I used to take actual prescription drugs that I used to have to take prescription drugs that costs money. I told him. Cost like I think with our insurance it was like $60 a month or something. Which is still a lot. I don't know, like this doesn't cost that much. Doesn't cost that much. They're all giving such healthy, balanced advice. Flair, if you're mad, walk it off. That energy needs a path away from you. Walk, run, or dance. Give it somewhere to go. Also good advice. It is solved by walking. Solvitor ambalando. Yeah, like going for a walk is good. Go for a walk, Star Child. That could be the best thing you can do right now. Just go for a walk a little bit. Just like little walkies. Kelly, Star Child, bless. Yeah, I've been told to take weed for my lack of sleep due to anxiety. I just choose to be sober, but I don't judge people who choose other methods that are fit for them. I do like to talk. I do like to learn about other people's experiences, and I'm one of those people that likes sharing mine. So we are well adapted here. Joe sending smiles across miles, friend. Love. I smoked for many, many years. I'm only like 5 weeks sober from THC. It wasn't as much of a hardship as I thought it would be. When you're ready, it's not. I think there's a freaking fly on my camera. When you're ready, it's very not hard. Because when you're really ready to stop smoking, you're ready, like you're already there. You know, it's already done. I'm so proud of you, nonetheless. Right? Doesn't take away from your getting there. And I see you being only more powerful and more capable at this point in your life, having taken the rest that you needed before. Weed also helps me with exercise. It gives me focus and being able to enjoy it more, like you said. True. I get a lot of stuff done now. Yep, that's the thing. You do get a lot of stuff done. You get significantly more done being completely sober. But the person that I am, even with me smoking weed multiple times a day, every day, still every day for like thousands of days, I've been getting streams done. I've been getting yoga classes done. I've been getting art and poetry done. Has been getting branding videos for other brands done. Has been doing graphic design work for other brands done. I've been making visuals for festivals done. Right, and I'm scared. I literally am scared of my sober self because maybe I should. Maybe I should just grind. I'll just grind myself to a smooth paste. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. Yeah, sober melt is relentless, extra relentless, more relentless, relentless plus, relentless to the point where he doesn't sleep. I can literally see myself being like gaming myself, being like, yeah, I could sleep, or I could not. I could go back to working for the next hour or whatever. No, I need balance. That's what I really need. I need some balance in my life. Hey Zano, bless your friend. It's nice having you here with us. We've been having such fun chats in stream today. Our centering thought is momentum. You know, this momentum we have, this direction we're heading in. And we did reach this point of talking about weed. Weed, I think, does inhibit momentum a little bit. Right? And again, sometimes there are momentums that you don't want. For instance, my mind only starts thinking more the later it gets. I don't know why. The closer I get to sleeping, the more insane I get. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe it makes sense to some of you. And it is this matter of if I don't have something to curb that, I just end up sometimes staying up. Right? I'll be like, yes, I need to think. I'm going to spend some time thinking about stuff instead. Steven Martinez getting a membership from Fleur Child as well. Bless. Thank you for blessing us, friend. Like, seriously, it does make a difference. Unironically, makes a difference in my life. It means a lot. I appreciate that. Love is true. I think I'm missing a bunch of comments. I'm trying to get through them. I get fussy easier, yeah. But I'm also better at adjusting and identifying my state of being. I have more critical focus than I have in quiet sometime. It's been an eye-opening experience to lift the veil of that comfort bubble. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I think that's the thing that I'm kind of getting at in my own experience as well, is that I know that there will be a point at which I'll be so busy, right? And today was one of those days. Hey, Jasmine! Haven't seen that username in a while. Bless your friend. I'll get to a point, like today, where I have so much to do. I have so much work set that smoking weed doesn't even come up as like an option, right? There's at no point where I'm like, oh, let me spend some time smoking weed quickly, because I'm like, no, I have this to do, and then I have that to do, and then after I do that, I'm going to do this. And when I was going love is true. So much momentum in all of us. Sounds like a lot of growth, Joe, when we know, which, as we know, doesn't come hand in hand with comfort. Yeah, literally the opposite. Why did you choose to take a break? Crazy that he got checkmated by God made weed equals weed good. No, he tried. He tried, giving me like the whole cyanide thing. Slept in. What y'all talking about? We're talking about momentum. We're talking about weed, and we're talking about work. And I feel like all of those things do, in some way, have something to do with each other. And we've been talking about like taking breaks from weed, talking about the sober self, the version of us that is capable of doing work, right? The version of us that's relentless, that's a workaholic. And the version of me that smokes weed is the version of me that doesn't want to be that. You freaking fly, bro. Can you not? Sit on my camera. Now you can sit on anywhere else. Right? Imagine, like there's an entity, a fly, right, that just happens to go and sit on your eyeball. It's staring into the fire. Such a small little leg. I'm not angry. I'm just flabbergasted. My therapist told me I should seek counsel of a shaman, and I never realized that she directed me to you unknowingly. Bless you. And all of you, really. And you to yourself as well. I hope that is also something you remember. Every single one of us is the teacher, is the shaman, your friend. Thank you for seeing me too. The cultural pressures of being clean was the spark that started the process. Bigger plans require larger sacrifice, and so it was a logical process. I'm happy that I did though. I forgot a lot of coping mechanisms with weed as a crutch. Joe, I hear you and I so look forward to you continuing to grow. Kelly's saying, Flair, I feel you too. I often refer to that as a sacred space, special for so many reasons. Glad you find sanctuary here as well. Love is true. Love is true. With doggos growling on the sidelines. Love is true. Like, there's so much space. Oh my God. There's so much room in every direction. But no, right here. Right here is the best place. Right here is the right place. Melty, yeah, I don't sleep much anymore. Oh yes. Huzzah. Joyously. I don't sleep. I need to sleep. I become, because again, it's like this vicious reaffirming loop. I think I'm a worse person when I'm sober. Actually. Right? Because I become more of a machine when I'm sober. And I don't think a machine is a good person. A machine is a great machine, but not a great person. Right? And I feel weed makes me a little bit more of a person. Just like a little bit. Just enough to feel like I can communicate with other people. Just enough. Just enough to tune out this bullshit. I see. I think that's definitely a part of it. That I'm having a harder and harder time doing it. Smoked herbs from 16 to 31. I'm 33 now, and I've been sober for 2 years. I can't do anything to alter my reality anymore. Too dangerous for me. I would never tell my partner to quit. It helps him so much. Knowing this about ourselves and about our loved ones. Knowing yourself is very valuable. Right? And we can think about it from the perspective of I was very sober during my time in China. I had rare opportunities, 3 total, to smoke in a year and 4 months. But a year and 4 months, I was pretty much without, And again, I wasn't going to go and try and buy for myself. Because 1, it's illegal there, very illegal. It's not illegal here. And 2, if you get caught buying from someone, that person gets the death penalty. They get murdered, right? So I would have this, I always render fractals out in my mind. Before I even find myself in a place, I've already been there in my brain space, right? Like for instance, if I go somewhere I'm unfamiliar with, I'll go and try and look at photos so I can start building a mental framework for myself and how I'll be there at some point. And imagining myself being somewhere and like getting some leaves, getting some plant material from person, and then seeing them get tackled by police officers, and then me being behind bars and then hearing the news of this person's execution. I was like, oh hell no. Oh hell to the no. I'm not having any of that, thank you. But there was one person who had like a THC vape, like a pen, and then one person grew a plant in their closet and then shared some of their growth with me, which was very nice of them. Bless you, Ash and Shay. Bless you, bless them. And all of those experiences made me feel like the world was alien, that everyone else was very alien to me. And I was very aware of it suddenly again, right? In a way that I had forgotten or had become unaware of. I'm like backtracking, trying to find the exact loop that I was running down. So yeah, during that time of my life, in my complete sobriety, I became very fat, right? Like I ended up enjoyment and pleasure from our experience, no matter what, right? And we all find that pleasure, that experience in different ways. And for me, it definitely seems to be that I can gain energy from weed in the same way that I might be able to from food, right? Not calories necessarily, but energy. I don't know if that makes sense. Probably sounds like insanity, but I know that about myself. It's my busy season. Work has been cray cray. I had to do some work this weekend too. So much momentum. I thank you for following through, Joy Vive. I look forward to you getting some rest soon. Proud of you, Joe. You got past the 7th day. That's the hardest, literally. Pack animals, Melty, and you're the leader. You being called a leader is like, shoo, woo. Oh, hold the horses. I thought we were walking together. You're following me. Pack leaders and you're the leader. Okay, pack animals and you're the leader. They just want to be with you. Oh, okay. Blessings in the noisy packaging. It's true. Pippi is calm again. Yes. Biting at flies. I get it, Pippi. I feel you. New hobbit on the block. What? Zano, yeah. There's a saying that if you do something for 21 days in a row, then it becomes a habit. Not smoking has now become the new habit. Nice. Power to you. I do like my reality better when I'm stoned. I wonder if I'll ever quit. I think we should take breaks so that we can appreciate the experience we get from not smoking. And then in those breaks, if we find we appreciate not smoking, then we should not smoke, right? And I feel you can only be given the context and the perspective you need if you do both. So it's again about knowing thyself. It's about growing as the self. Learning from yourself, right? I do imagine you shoeless on the, oh yeah, Joe, bless. 21 days, that's all it takes. My ADHD begs to differ. Lol, I wish. I've been chasing routine my whole adult life and I still struggle. I do all my best work at the last minute, but the chaos is exhausting. Yeah. Have you ever like done some proper scheduling? Routine, right? Like routine can only arise with a schedule. My routine is literally like hard staked into time. I have like a bunch of these like non-negotiables that I stake into my time ground. Long time no see, LVX agent. It has been a while. It's nice seeing you now. You look healthy. How have you been? I've been good. I've been trying to take as good a care of myself as I can. I think I need to sleep better. And I want to do a little bit more exercise. But I'm not over consuming, I don't think at least. And I'm doing work as well. I'm feeling fulfilled. I'm feeling the sense of, I am valued. People will pay me to do work for them, right? Like, there are people that see me as a contributing member of society. Huzzah. Huzzah. So it's been a roller coaster. How's your experience been? Are you healthy? Are you taking care? Do let us know. I feel your joy vive. I really enjoyed the bubble, even so much that I stopped caring about a great deal, many things. The emotional flood has been a roller coaster. It's been a good one though, absolutely. Joe, I cry at animal rescue commercials sometimes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Joy, I'm with you there. My chemically imbalanced brain does not do well with raw dogging life. To me, it's good for different people. Amazing for pain, stops seizure activities, loosens muscles, helps mood. I lean on it too hard and I end up with mania and psychosis in the hospital. But it's actually a miracle drug for a lot of people, and I support that. It's true. I think it's a matter of, personal perspective. I am one of those that advocate for, seeing yourself as the ultimate experiment. All right. You are like a lab and your brain is like the scientist. And it is always concocting new potions. All right. And you are the vessel thereof as well. And how you pour those potions out into the world makes your impact, uniquely yours. So yeah, I feel no matter how you are loved. You add value. Always remember that. Even if you're not being given direct money to, you are adding value. If you can hear these words right now, the fact that my words are being heard by you means that you have given my words value by listening to them. All right? So literally, just your existence adds value. Boom. Boom. Now believe that. Now understand that about yourself. Now see this baby dogger being such a baby dogger. Being such a baby dogger. Being such a sweetie patootie. Being such a cuter. You want to go and play with Peppy? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, play. Yeah, play. Oh, I'm going to kidnap a Peppy too. Yeah, kidnap a Peppy. Yeah, kidnapping Peppy. She's like, no, I don't want to be kidnapped. I want to go play. She said, yeah. Okay. Good to see y'all, chat. Glad to hear you've been well, Melt. I've been getting to that point myself. And thank you for some of the stepping stones you put in place. We're all in this together at the end of the day, Adrian. Literally. Right? Like, it's very easy to consider ourselves these islands of experience, of perspective, and of knowledge. But we are in this together, right? We all are in the same boat that is the planet Earth. That is our world. Maybe we're in different countries. Maybe we're in different cities. Maybe we're in different homes. Maybe we're in different bodies. But we are all one. All right. And growing as yourself, for yourself, is the best way that you can help the world. All right. Just don't get completely addicted to the self-growth alone. Realize that the self-growth is for a reason. And then we're on the right track. Oh, hey. Got all my supplies to do my box braids, and I washed my hair last night to reduce irritation. I probably won't have the time until next weekend, but I'm excited. Nice. I'm guessing the package just arrived. Pippi is literally on my cushion. These freaking animals. Zoom. Joe. MJ has the opposite effect from me. It connects me to myself. The world around me, I'm more gentle. She takes off an edge. I took an 8-month tolerance break, and I was a bit of an asshole. Yeah. For some people, that is the case. Some people, that is the experience they have with not smoking. It hurts you. Don't bite down on me like that. Oh, you have a tick here. You have acquired new parasites. There you go. I will now integrate this tick with the rest of the environment. Ah, yes. Becoming one with the earth. I'm not crazy, you're crazy. Oh, no, Kelly. Yeah, I'm less gentle lately, that's true. But I'm trying to focus on that exact issue. It's a new opportunity for me to gain some control, or at least some kind of self-reflection in my heart. This is true. Yeah. I'm so happy and so proud of you for seeing this opportunity the way you do. The new little boy is so handsome. Do you know his breed? I'm pretty sure he's a Jack Russell as well. Taken in McCree. Same as Pippi. But they might have some other type dog in their bloodline. They might not be pure. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, don't eat cushions. Eat each other. No. Yeah. I'm trying to focus on the positive aspect. On the positive aspect of this experience rather than missing the numbness like an old friend. Exactly. I do miss it though. Raw isn't easy. The challenge is good for the spirit though. Absolutely, Joe. Might not be easy, but it's always interesting. You know, we are all in your corner. We can be your MJ. Yeah, you can live vicariously through us. We can give you the contact high experience. Some people, is you, Mel, you turn into an inflamed hemorrhoid. I'm missing a little bit of the context, but yes. It's just true. Yes. Dogs. Yes. I am the jungle gym, yes. Joy, hi, Gaggle. Love you. Just calling his ass out. Some people is you, Mel. Oh, yeah. Like, I know that. I was saying that this whole time. I was like, I know myself. And I was like, the way I articulated it is that I turn into a machine, right? And a machine has no compassion. A machine has no tolerance for the trajectory not being followed. A machine has no willingness to reason with what it considers faulty information. It's just like this is the object. This is the task. This is the objective. No. So I agree. I'm 100% there with you. A puppy, bitey face, little needle teeth. Oh yeah. When you quit smoking and take a break, it's true. Love the space so much. It's my favorite tea house. Many thanks for all the love. Ah, the machine. Oh yeah. Yes, sir. I am being used as a jungle gem. I'm a jungle gem. A jungle gem. No, you are mine now. I am now prison. I have become prison. No prison. I'm prison. I am prison. You cannot escape. You cannot escape my prison. Only here you can be. Okay, release. Release. I'm going to finish this vertical stream. If you're new here, subscribe. I'm going to start another one just for a while, just for a touching on, like a little bit of a baseline. Hey, Pepe. Pepe is going to prison. Yeah, Pepe is in prison now. Yeah, it's now Pepe's prison. Pepe is now in prison. No, it's Pepe's prison. No, this is only Pepe's prison. You can't be in prison too. It's Pepe's prison. No, it's prison time. There's no time for prison. Okay. Yes. Okay. Love is true. I'll see you friends again soon for the next one. For the horizontal one. I love you. Till we do it again. Ay.